Hello all you wonderful Zelda fans, today is going to be a heavy episode. We are on the 5th out of 6 episodes to the series, and I want to thank each and every one of you who have been here for this series, whether that's commenting your own thoughts and interacting with others, or just watching the video. Anyways, a quick summary of how this works. Each episode has an overall category. For example, last category was dungeons, and this category is the story. Each of those categories have 3 mini categories. Every time a mini category wins, that adds 1 point for the single episode score. These points add up to the overall score after the episode is over. But don't worry, because you all can affect the score too. See, I release a poll on my community tab, and whichever poll has the largest percentage of votes can add 1 mini category point, which can help boost what the overall score will be. Alright, enough chit chat, it's time to reveal the mini categories of today. Today's episode, with the overall category of the story, will contain the 3 mini categories of characters, plot, and emotions. The characters in Breath of the Wild contain the champions in the past, the Princess of Hyrule, the King of Hyrule, and Link. There are also the future sages as their younger selves who helped get you into the Divine Beasts. The champions include Daruk of the Gorons, Urbosa of the Gerudo, Revali of the Rito, and Mipha of the Zora. All of these characters have traits to them that make them special. For example, Revali is good at being a jerk. He has lots of pride and thinks he can do anything better than Link. He is a great archer and obviously can fly because he is a bird. But what about his development throughout the story? Well, he starts out as a jerk and still believes he can do anything. However, he is killed by the blight that took control over his divine beast. Obviously, he cannot be perfect and has to be saved by Link. Revali realized that he needed help from Link after all. Keep in mind, the story in both of these games are mainly in the past. They are seen through cutscenes that are memories. Mipha is someone who has always had a large crush on Link. She made the Zora armor specifically for Link as a gift, and the same armor connects into the game later and helps with swimming up waterfalls. She sees defeat in fighting Water Blight, who took control of her divine beast. In fact, all of the champions are defeated. Daruk is someone who has a charming personality. He's always optimistic. Yes, I know he calls Link little, but let's just ignore that part. Urbosa was close to Zelda's mother, and over the years has gotten to know the Princess Zelda too. She always wants to protect her at all costs and believes that Link will help too. Link is a quiet knight who is there to protect Zelda from any danger. He may not say much through his words, but his face says it all to Zelda, and lets her know that he truly does care for her. Princess Zelda cares a lot for ancient technologies and wants to study them further to help in the fight against Ganon's return. The king, her father, does not believe in this as being the way and forces her to constantly try to find her power by going to all the springs to pray to the goddess Hylia as a final hope of finding her power. I will go over why all of these things happen in the next category. The characters in Breath of the Wild all have a personality. It feels rewarding after you free their champion soul too. You get a cutscene and they get to see how Hyrule is holding up 100 years later. This part hits sort of hard knowing that these people have been dead for hundreds of years waiting for you to come free them. Mipha says so herself that she was about ready to give up just the other day. Each champion also had a journal. I'm not sure if this is only reachable by the DLC, but either way, it is still a part of the lore. Zelda's diary reveals things about Link's character, how he feels stressed about being a hero, but has to stay calm for Zelda. How Link cannot resist food. It is revealed that Zelda's mother has passed away, and her mother was someone who could guide her through training. It was revealed that the last time the princess spoke to her father, he had just scolded her and pressured her into going to train harder. But she was going to come back to talk to her father, however, she never got the chance to. Knowing this makes Breath of the Wild so much sadder. I'll explain why she never got to tell her father what she wanted to say in the next category, because that does relate with the plot. Tears of the Kingdom's characters don't feel as in-depth as the others. All of the old sages don't have a personality. In fact, I don't think we even learned their names. The new sage like Tulin, Richu, Sidon, Yunobo, and Minoru do have personalities, but they don't feel as in-depth as the others do. I feel like the memories with characters like Sonia and Rauru do introduce the characters well, but there could have been more. I think there could have been more scenes with Sonia and Rauru especially. Maybe building on their relationship and characters, which would have made the impact of Sonia's death hit a lot harder. I do think they did convey Rauru's emotions correctly in that scene. He had his third eye opened and was pissed at Ganondorf. Something just feels more correct about the champions in Breath of the Wild though. And that is why I give this point to Breath of the Wild. Okay, now I can explain the full plot of Breath of the Wild. When you first start up the game, Link wakes up at the Shrine of Resurrection. You learn you have been asleep there for 100 years and meet with an old man who is King Roam Bosphoramos. No surprise there. He fills you in that a great evil has taken control of the castle and his daughter is using her power the best she can do to contain the calamity. But it's just not enough and Link needs to go there and help her. You are then sent to Kakariko village where you meet the village chief Impa. Impa fills you in on way more lore. Long ago a great calamity came upon the land and the hero had to defeat it. In case of an attack like that again, Hyrule wanted to be prepared. They unearthed the 4 divine beasts, large mechanical weapons to help the fight against Ganon. They also had a large defense of guardians. Impa fills you in that there were 4 champions chosen to pilot these divine beasts. These are the people I've mentioned in the first category. Impa also fills you in that you have lost all your memories, and with the camera, you can find spots you have been at to recover them. This is where all the cutscenes with the champions in Zelda come in. They are all Link's memories. All of the story has already happened in the past, you just have to piece it together. Link was the knight assigned by the king to look after his daughter. At first, Zelda is hesitant about Link and thinks she does not need him. She shuts him down all the time and is a jerk to him, but it does not bother Link, and he presses on in his duty. The Yiga clan attacks Zelda, but Link protects her and shows that he will give his life for Zelda to live. They grow closer because of this moment. Zelda's 17th birthday is approaching, and Hyrule is getting ready for Calamity Ganon's return. The princess has not yet tapped into her powers to seal Ganon away. Her father tells her not to be focused on such childish things like studying the ancient guardians. He tells her that she needs to be dedicating every moment to finding her power through constant praying. Zelda obviously has tried this over and over, and she has been training ever since she is young, but decides to leave for more springs. She fails yet again and finds Mount Lanayru Spring to be the last hope. This is the last time she talked with her father. She and the champions all leave for Mount Lanayru, but she fails yet again. Urbosa encourages Zelda and says not to worry. Any spark could bring her power. They will just need to look for it. Mipha then speaks up to say that what she thinks about when healing or using her power, that it helps her when she thinks about, but they are cut off. I think we all knew what Mipha was going to say, but it's too late because the Calamity has returned. It wreaks havoc on Hyrule Castle, killing everyone there. The champions are sent to go to their divine beast to try to take down the Calamity, but the Calamity releases an attack that no one expected. Ganon sends its evil to possess the mechanical guardians. The guardians all turn on the Hylians, and the divine beasts are possessed with the blights. The champions meet their end, and Zelda and Link are left running for their lives. A guardian hovers over Link and Zelda, and aims a beam at Link. But Zelda pushes him out of the way, and she releases a wave of her power at the guardians. She has found her spark. The guardians crumble, but Link is very weak, and almost even dead. The sword spirit Fi, from the Master Sword, speaks to Zelda. Link can be saved and taken to the Shrine of Resurrection, so he is taken there asleep for 100 years. And it has gone full circle, all the way back to the beginning of the game. So that is the plot of Breath of the Wild. It is such an emotional journey with the perfect characters. Now, let's talk about the plot for Tears of the Kingdom. Tears of the Kingdom's opening starts beneath Hyrule Castle. Zelda and Link are walking deep beneath and uncover ancient Zonai ruins. They find the history of Hyrule and the imprisoning war. It is drawn on the walls with the birth of the Demon King and the fight between the sages and him. However, the final pictures are sealed off with rocks. You head deeper with Zelda and find a mysterious evil. Zelda finds a secret stone, and the mummy comes back to life. It speaks with hatred and knows the name of Link and Zelda and causes the ground to crumble. The castle is then shot skyward and Zelda falls. Link jumps to try to catch her, knowing that he would fall too, but a hand grabs Link and pulls him to safety. This hand is all that remains of the first king of Hyrule, Botw. Again, you wake in a room and you find a construct. This construct tells you that the princess is waiting in the Temple of Time for you. When you open the Temple of Time, you find a spirit of Zelda that gives you the power Recall. When you get outside, Fi speaks out to you. You recall the Master Sword back in time to a moment where Zelda is standing over the same place. After this, you head to the surface and meet up with Purah, who tells you about the different regional phenomena. These are the dungeons of the game, which we talked about in the last episode. On the way to the first dungeon, you come across a mysterious picture on the grass. These were not here in Breath of the Wild. Soon you find that these pictures are actually the memories of Zelda. The story takes place in the past again. It turns out when Zelda vanished into light while falling, the stone she was holding took her to the past, and she met Rauru and Sonia. She desperately tries to find a way to get back to her time, where she can help Link defeat the evil that just arose. Rauru takes Zelda to see his sister, Minoru, who might have a solution. Minoru reveals that the secret stones amplify her time power, but if she doesn't already know how to go back, the secret stone won't make any difference. The only way that you could go back is if you swallow a secret stone and turn into an immortal dragon. However, she warns that this act is forbidden. Ganondorf sends a swarm of Molduga to attack the kingdom, but Rauru and Sonia and Zelda amplify their power with the secret stone and send a large blast down on them. Ganondorf eyes the stones they have and concludes he wants one. He enters their kingdom and threatens Rauru. Zelda requests to speak to Sonia alone, but Zelda tries to kill Sonia. However, this was not the real Zelda, and was actually a puppet of Ganondorf. The real Zelda and Sonia were onto Ganondorf's plan and end up recalling the scimitar thrown at Sonia. However, Ganondorf sneaks up on her and punches Sonia with a fatal blow. Sonia is killed, and Ganondorf snatches the secret stone from her. He uses it to reach an ultimate form and becomes the Demon King. Rauru is pissed at Ganondorf, but Zelda saves them both by using the Purah Pad to teleport them out of there. Rauru gathers the sages together and presents them with their own secret stones to battle Ganondorf. Zelda realizes that this Ganondorf is actually the same Ganondorf that is in Link and Zelda's time. This means that they will fail in battle, and give their life, even with Ganon still alive. Rauru does understand this, but says they must give it their all and rely on the knight thousands of years later. The hero with the sword that seals the darkness. Link. The sages all battle the Demon King underneath where Hyrule Castle will be in the future. It seems impossible to destroy the Demon King, so Rauru commits himself to one final act. He seals the Demon King underground and sacrifices himself to keep him held there. With this act, peace has returned to Hyrule in the past, but in the future the Demon King will wake. Zelda finally understands why she is here in the past. It is told that if the Master Sword is bathed in sacred power, it can heal itself and become stronger than before. Zelda swallows the secret stone and turns into a dragon. With this, she sheds a tear over the kingdom of Hyrule, which spreads out into different pictures or geoglyphs. They contain her memories and are what Link is to find in the future. The Master Sword is preserved on Zelda's head, ready for Link to reclaim. It once again has the sacred light that vanquishes demons. Now, all that would be left is for Link to take the sword and defeat the Demon King once and for all. But that part is for next time's episode. Anyways, that is both the overall plot of Zelda Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom. Which story has the better plot? A boy waking up with lost memories, traveling through the world to reclaim them, and free the four mechanical beasts from the control of the Calamity? Or, a long ancient evil man that dates back to the founding of Hyrule, with the events of the imprisoning war and a time-traveling princess, and the final hope of a knight eons later, to destroy the evil from long ago? I have to be honest, I like the overall plot of Tears of the Kingdom better. When it comes to time travel, it is always a cool experience for me, and the way they did this was amazing. I think there were definitely more things they could have added, but that's not to discuss in this series. Tears of the Kingdom wins this category, adding 1 point. So, which one is the more emotional journey? Believe it or not, these games are both an emotional journey. The fact that in Breath of the Wild you were up against a great evil all by yourself, with no help from anyone or even anyone recognizing you as a hero from 100 years ago, it just makes the game have a sadder tone to it. All the champions you once knew have been killed off in battle, and you go to each beast to avenge their souls. Tears of the Kingdom, everyone knows you are the hero Link, it's not as dark as Breath of the Wild story, and you have plenty of people to help you, like the new sages who will even fight the final boss with you. Now, even though Tears of the Kingdom doesn't sound as emotional as Breath of the Wild, with what I've said so far, there is some things that hit you right in the gut. The moment that the player realizes or sees Zelda turn into a dragon, it just shocks you. It makes you realize that she's going to fly around the sky for thousands of years, and she doesn't even hold her memories to keep her company. She serves one purpose now, and that is to deliver the Master Sword to Link. Also, because I forgot to say something from last section, Zelda has the Purah Pad to escape from Ganondorf. Right before she turns into a dragon, Mineru's spirit is stored inside the pad, and the Purah Pad is given to the Steward construct. This Steward construct is the same construct that gives the Purah Pad to Link at the start of the game. Alright, so which game is more emotional? This was a very hard pick because they both are, but I ultimately choose Breath of the Wild. It feels like all hope is lost, and you are the only one that can restore Hyrule to its former glory. This adds 1 point to Breath of the Wild. And with that, Breath of the Wild wins this episode with 2 mini category points to 1. The poll for this time wins with Breath of the Wild at a 62% to Tears of the Kingdom at 38%. This adds another mini category point to Breath of the Wild, now being 3 to 1. This adds 1 overall point to Breath of the Wild, with the overall score now being 3 to 3. The next episode decides the final winner, the better video game. Thanks all for watching, and if you want to get notified when the next episode goes live, please hit that subscribe button with the notifications bell. With that being said, I will see you in my final Breath of the Wild vs. Tears of the Kingdom episode.